of the regular meeting of the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners for Thursday, January 9th. Good morning again. Langdon Neal, Chairman of the Board. Seated to my left is Commissioner Marisol Hernandez, and to my right is Commissioner Richard Cowan. First item on the agenda is the consideration of the agenda itself. Any additions, deletions? Hearing none, we'll move to item, we'll skip item 3. The minutes are not prepared. To item 4, Executive Director's Report. Mr. Goff is unavailable, attending a very important election conference representing the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners. So we'll move to our very capable and outstanding Assistant Executive Director, Ms. Kelly Baton.
Thank you, Chairman. So we have nothing really new to report since the Tuesday's or Monday's meeting, except for we can go through, we're again working on the electronic poll book. We have been working very hard since Monday, but we're just continuing on.
Okay. I see Judd Ryan here. Thank you for coming. I did summon you from this, but I know you're usually here. But I thought it would be important that you make a regular appearance at our meeting here between now and March 18th because of the critical nature of the implementation of this, that we make sure that if the commissioners have questions or that the staff is challenged by any member of the board with respect to its preparedness for this election, that you be here to provide further information.
Understood.
So we're pleased with how things are going so far, but we just want you to be accountable weekly.
Okay.
Staff is actually meeting with representatives from ESNS right now.
Okay.
And we plan on today, tomorrow, Saturday.
Yes.
We are meeting with them every day. We anticipate deliveries, our first deliveries to start next week to our warehouse. So we are moving along at a very steady pace.
Great. Okay.
Kelly or
Yes.
Judd, has a timeline of any kind been prepared?
Yes,
That could be shared with the commissioners?
absolutely. And we'll get that to you, yes.
Okay.
It's,
Helpful.
it's being updated in a lot of these meetings.
Right.
All right.
Right, we have a weekly conference call, a weekly meeting every Wednesday at 9 a.m. We had our first one yesterday, and yes, we go through the timeline. We have an agenda that's very strict, and so we are moving forward. But yes, you will get a copy of the timeline.
Okay, and everything is proceeding on a timely basis as well?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
All right. Any other questions of Ms. Bateman? All righty. Anything else in your report, Kelly?
No.
Okay. We'll move to Mr. Allen. Anything for you to report?
We went through the infrastructure report at length at the last meeting, so I won't add to that. The only update we have is that we delivered all of the voter registration forms to the Chicago Public Schools last Friday in the blizzard.
Oh, yeah.
And the warehouse took delivery of those. We're already fielding calls now from teachers at the high schools asking whether or not they can get started right away. And so we're telling them absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've received numbers this week from the Archdiocese, from each school, from Notre Dame, Cristo Rey. So we're going to be getting the forms out to them as well.
How about all our partners, our civic and groups of policy, groups that are partnering with us on outreach on the 17-year-old registration?
Many, not all of the schools have been adopted, if you will, by organizations such as Bigfoot Challenge, League of Women Voters, Operation Push, Chicago Committee of Attorneys for Civil Rights Under Law, Chicago Lawyers Committee, and Rock the Vote, etc. Not all do. So we're encouraging now the people at the Chicago Public Schools who have been identified as the leaders for that school to reach out to those partners and extract as much help as they can get. So they've been very active. They're excited about jumping in and helping the schools register as many as possible.
Okay, wonderful. I'm anxious to see how those numbers come out. Any other questions for Mr. Allen? Okay. All righty. We'll move to old business. We had a very lengthy discussion on Monday regarding our infrastructure projects and changes, so I don't think there's anything more to really talk about there. We also had a very robust discussion about electronic poll books. I think we are on target. Ms. Bateman will circulate the timeline to the commissioners on implementation. Voting equipment, we did have a report from our vendor with respect to preparedness for March 18th. And finally, Mr. Scanlon did report on Monday. I take it there's no change from Monday on with respect to election legislation.
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll move on to new business. We have a professional service contract for Mr. or Ms. I think Ms. Yeah, Ms. Verma, who will be our Hindi language coordinator. She joins our very, again, robust group of language coordinators here at the board who not only assist us on outreach to the communities, but on media relations matters to the particular language community, and attend community relations activities, and on election day provide translation services for us. So I think that pretty much is accurate.
I would only add, Mr. Chairman, that this helps make certain that we are in full compliance with the Voting Rights Act and Section 203, and addressing specific questions that have been posed by the Justice Department.
Okay, great.
Mr. Chairman, if I could also just add that the contract does provide that Ms. Verma would be the Asian Indian community
Thank you. Thank you.
coordinator. And also, there is a slight change from the draft of the agreement that I had circulated earlier in paragraph 7 of the agreement. There's a provision that under the original agreement, the board could terminate the agreement with 3 days' notice. Ms. Verma wanted reciprocal rights, and so that the agreement has been modified to provide either party the right to terminate the agreement with 3 days' notice, written notice to the other party. So with that change, I think the contract is in final form for your approval.
Yep. That's a change to paragraph 7.
That's correct.
All right, any other questions by the commissioners?
Yes, Jim?
Yes.
Is this contract consistent in terms of the hourly rate and the maximum with the other contracts for our other coordinators?
I think the hourly rate is somewhat lower. The caps are different, you know, with different individuals. This is certainly within the range of similar contracts with other individuals. They're not all the same, but this is consistent and in the range.
Yes.
Ms. Verma will also be instrumental in helping us recruit language assistants, judges for Election Day for the Asian Indian precincts where we need bilingual judges. She also helped us with translation and ballot proofing. So
Excellent.
she's got a big role.
All righty. All righty. There's a motion. I'll make a motion to approve the professional service agreement between Ms. Verma and the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners to act as a representative of the board to the Asian Indian community for an amount not to exceed $55,000 a year and at a rate of $25 per hour.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Count.
Second?
Seconded by Commissioner Hernandez. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
That'll be the order. Yes.
Make one more comment. Ms. Verba did start yesterday,
Okay,
and yesterday, and the good news is she came back today.
all right.
So,
Excellent. Well, now she can be paid for today. Mr. Scanlon, do you have anything for your report today?
I do not, Mr. Chairman.
All righty. And we do not have a financial report today, is that correct? All right. Then at this time, I'll open it up for any public comment. We do not have any today. We do not need an executive session, correct?
That is correct,
All
Mr.
right,
Chairman.
now accept the motion to adjourn till our next regularly scheduled meeting, which will be January 14th at 10 a.m.
So moved.
Moved and properly seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That'll be the order. Thank you.